Even in church life, especially a Pentecostal church like ours, we love to see God move and talk about the amazing things that he's doing in our lives. But what about the times that God doesn't seem to be doing anything in our lives? Or when we feel like something unfair or unjust has happened to us? This is a touchy subject, and everybody in this room and watching today has had their share of hard times and injustice. What is your contentment level dependent on? Question for you all. That's a big question for each of us today. Where does your contentment come from? Search your heart for a few seconds and see what pops into it. 3. Let's keep that in mind as we dive into the Word of God today. Let's look at how we can be content with the ordinary, drudgery-filled, unjust, unfair life. It's very positive, isn't it? I'm reading from Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 9 to 9:12 in the NLT version. And I thought that to make it a bit happier, because it's quite dull, I'd just play a little bit of background music while I read. This is a pop song. I have thought deeply about all that goes on here under the sun, where people have the power to hurt each other. I have seen wicked people buried with honor, yet they were the very ones who frequented the temple and are now praised in the same city where they committed their crimes. This too is meaningless. When a crime is not punished quickly, people feel it is safe to do wrong. But even though a person sins 100 times and still lives a long time, I know that those who fear God will be better off. The wicked will not prosper, for they do not fear God. Their days will never grow long like the evening shadows. Did that work? Is that happening? Yeah. I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with this because wicked people do live long lives and many crimes do go unpunished. We're all sinners though, that much is true. I have conversations with God about this and arguments, which you're allowed to, by the way. And God is perfect, way more perfect than my understanding. I trust God. The Lord is the head judge and all-knowing. That's what came to me about what I just read. From verse 14, and this is not all that is meaningless in our world. In this life, good people are often treated as though they were wicked, and wicked people are often treated as though they were good. This is so meaningless. Having read this over and over, what we think about the injustice that goes on in this fallen world is meaningless. That doesn't mean we don't care or get upset about it. We hate injustice, and I don't like to use the word hate. It's like a swear word. But it happens, and it will continue to happen, unfortunately. Instead, maybe we should be trying to keep an eye on our hearts that we won't bring injustice to those around us. That's what I've been trying to do.